I'm trying to keep this video between like 5 minutes, and it's very difficult. And the reason why it's difficult is because I have so much I've learned over these past 4 weeks. But starting off, welcome back. I know I've been away. I had to go to a conference, and I really just been studying the majority of my other time that I have. Cleaning the apartment, doing life stuff too, but majority studying. And I'm really enjoying it because I'm in, like I probably mentioned this before, I'm in a psychology class this semester. And I get to solidly focus on research, which is lovely. I've been learning, and it's intriguing. It's fascinating. One thing that I learned is that in decision making, there are two theories that I've been told. There's normative and descriptive. And descriptive theory is compared to normative standards. So standards created in normative theory. And then the last one is prescriptive, which is not a theory per se, but it's how we help people. How can we help people make better decisions? Yeah, so one thing that we learned is expected value and expected utility, which I'm going to talk about expected utility to save on time. Expected utility is pretty much where there's a decision, the decision maker has a choice set, yes, no, maybe, cheese pizza over pineapple pizza, cake over ice cream, whatever the choice may be, and sometimes it can be two. Whether they pick one or two, there's going to be an outcome. You can put these into a game where each outcome has a probability of happening or not happening. Now, the utility portion is how a person feels about it based upon what they got going on. So it's very subjective to an extent. And it's very insightful for how I've made decisions in the past. Now, mathematical logic, and I'm probably going to have to put a whole separate video for this because there is a whole bunch of slander on math about it not being real. Math is really not real. Math is a language. It has flaws. It's not perfect, but it's made to work, and it does work. And it's everywhere. So if you think math is stupid, if you think math isn't applicable anywhere else outside of geometry, calculus, it is. Take a set theory course, take discrete math. When you start hearing how conversations are formed or how arguments are put together, they use mathematical logic to a degree. Well, English and language is formed specifically on mathematical logic. So you all can study that and take that as you will. Now next, research. Research is fun. Now, the problem that I'm having now is that I'm trying to tamper with the cache from outside of the process that I'm working in. Process being programmed. Now, what is the cache? Cache is a area or a section of memory that is physically on top of a processor. Specifically inside of so processors are made of cores, right? And each core has a specific set, a specific memory section called cache. Now, there's a unified or shared memory between all of the cores on a CPU, which is called L3 or LLC, which is last level cache. Now, not all processors have L3. Some only have 2. Some might have L4. Bottom point, it's the last level, and it's shared between all of the other cores. In certain settings, there are some settings where this is not the case, but in the processors, the x86 processors that I'm working on, this is the case. Now, L1 and L2 are not shared from core to core. Each core has its own L1 and has its own L2. And usually, most data that's in L1 and L2 is also in L3. Now, what is cache? Cache is since it's directly on the CPU, it's very fast and very efficient to use. It's slow. It makes instruction cycle time, because instructions are measured in cycles, and in CPUs, they are sped up when memory is in cache versus having to run to RAM, which is a wire to another piece, another component, or random access memory or main memory, which is another piece in your computer. But focusing on cache, so if you keep running to memory a certain number of times, or it sees that you're going to keep going to the same memory address, it's going to store that memory address in cache, so it doesn't have to always run and take more time to get to main memory. It's just going to store it directly on top of the CPU or on top of the core. Now, the cache is very small. It's only so much space, and it's very small. I'm going to go over time, and that's okay. it's very small, and things get evicted and overwritten based upon how often they're used. So you can easily see the difference if you were to continuously store things in the cache and remove them, or if you're just to evict a specific address or line in the cache. You'll see that you can tamper with the timing for how long it takes for something to be read or written. I'm trying to think. So yes, so if it's found in the cache or in this small temporary memory area, it's known as a hit, meaning it's there, we don't need to do anything. But if it's not in the cache, it's called a miss, meaning it had to go all the way to main memory, fetch it, bring it back, and if it's going to keep being used, it's going to store it again. I'm trying to find a way to cause cache misses, but caches have sets. So sets are contained of lines. There are certain lines in a set. A cache has a certain number of sets. Mind you, it's small. This is different from RAM. I'm trying to do this from an outside process. The problem is caches can be inclusive or non-inclusive. I don't know if non-inclusive also means exclusive, or if it's just I'm just going to say non-inclusive because that's how it's written. The cache I'm currently working in is non-inclusive. So I'm currently trying to figure out how to flush or how to evict a line from L3, which, backtrack, non-inclusive means that the data in L3, the last level of cache is shared between all of the cores. If it's evicted from L3, that does not mean it's evicted from L1 and L2. Now, mind you, L3 encapsulate L1 and L2, correct, but just because it's evicted from L3 does not mean it's evicted from L1 and L2, which is important. Meaning, if I evict something from L3 and I needed to evict it from all cache, which is L1, L2, and L3, just evicting something from L3 won't get the job done. It won't cause me to have cache misses. That's the problem that I'm running into. Now, this would be better with visual aids, and if you need references, feel free to send me a message. I can send you references on caching and stuff like that, because mind you, I'm learning this stuff as I go. Not really. Some of this stuff was taught to me last year in architecture, but to apply what I learned in class to research, it's mind-boggling. I love it. Yeah, I know probably none of that made sense to anybody. I had to try to explain it the best way I can at the moment. Now, lastly, fitness. Fitness is going well. I have accomplished my goal of 1 week of not spending. Now, this is not my only goal. My goal is to not spend multiple weeks in a row, but I'm getting there. But no, I haven't spent any money this week. And I looked and I was like, oh, I really have been good. Meaning, I did not eat out, meaning I did not get tempted by a chocolate hazel croissant from on campus. And most importantly, my fitness is on track. My scale hit 197 around 2 days ago. I probably went up because I've been drinking a boatload of water because I've been trying to increase my water intake. You truly are what you eat. I've been eating a lot of onions, and yeah, you are what you eat. It's weird that I said that. It's hard. The fire truck is there, but yeah, no. My body feels a little bit better. It feels cleaner. I've low-key, I didn't know how many carbs grapes had, and I had been eating a lot of grapes because I wanted more fiber in my diet. But I will say that it's not bad. It is hard. It's very difficult to stay strict and firm on not eating much sugar, mainly eating a lot more protein, and also trying to lower carb intake. And I've also been trying not to beat myself up over the fact that there are carbs in everything, just as there's sugar in everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else has been going good. My shoes came in from the shoe order I ordered last year finally came in. Yeah, if you have any questions about caching, or if I made a mistake in Psych or in caching, feel free to reach out to me. I try to give you all the most simplified, dumbed down version of it. I have some papers and references that can help you understand caching. But yeah, it's really a process. I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna say that balancing everything is easy. It's not. I do love research. Like I didn't know. Like I always stated that research is the part that makes grad school fun, and it truly is fun applying what I learned in my architecture class to research. But it's also fun learning psych, which is what I didn't like. I knew I was gonna be ecstatic about it. How much I didn't know, and yeah, it's insightful. So yeah, stay well.